So, all the talk on social media right now is about the Netflix show Receiver, and this show highlighted some star wide receivers and even a tight end from the 49ers. But the most important thing to the Raider Nation is the role that Davante Adams played in the show and some of the statements that have been revealed about how he felt in the 2023 season. And now all everybody wants to talk about is Davante Adams being traded to the Jets to reunite with Aaron Rodgers. Well, this video sadly is not about conspiracy theories of trading Davante Adams, because that's just nonsense. He's not going anywhere. We have a young second-year quarterback, Aiden O'Connell, and trading away his best weapon would be career suicide for GM Tom Telesco and new head coach Antonio Pierce. The Raiders are in win now mode, not rebuild, so we're not even going to give a second thought to these clickbait nonsense videos on social media. Instead, we're going to dive into the current wide receivers roster and who I believe will make the team or the practice squad and who are the cut candidates. We will go through each player in depth from veteran to rookies, so sit back, fasten that seatbelt, and get ready for a wild ride on today's episode of the Raider Podcast. All right, everybody, before we get started, two quick announcements for the Raider Nation. Number one is the Max Crosby t-shirt is going out of stock and will not be coming back. So if you want to get one, you better get one now, as these shirts will not be coming back and we are working on future designs. So click on our store and grab a t-shirt while supplies last. Secondly, we have a goal of hitting 7,000 subscribers by the end of the week, and we need your help. If you're new to the channel or simply haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so that you don't miss our videos. We're in this together, Raider Nation. We are one, and don't forget to like this video so that the Raider-hating YouTube algorithm will be forced to show more Raiders content to the world, as it should be. So, only 6 wide receivers will make the team. Some will land on the practice squad, and unfortunately, others will be cut. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about the wide receivers whose spots on the team are guaranteed. These guys have proven themselves and are crucial to our offense. Starting with the obvious, Davante Adams. Standing at 6'1" and weighing in at 215 pounds, Adams is our star receiver, and there's no doubt about his role. Adams is a game changer, future Hall of Famer, and will continue to be a key target for young second-year quarterback Aiden O'Connell. With career stats of 872 receptions, 10,781 receiving yards, and 95 touchdowns, plus 6 Pro Bowl selections, his impact is undeniable. While it is true his numbers were down slightly last year due to the change in coaches and quarterback, and the fact that we did not have enough depth at wide receiver, allowing defenses to double team him the majority of the time, that should not be the case this year. If teams want to double team Adams, they will be picked apart by new star tight end Brock Bowers, Jakobi Meyers, Trey Tucker, Michael Mayer, and other players I will mention here shortly. This should allow Davante Adams to get more one-on-ones this year and open him up to get fed the ball, which is always a good recipe for success. And if our defense can continue to get the ball back into the hands of the offense, Davante Adams should have a huge year this year, and I, for one, cannot wait to see it. Next, we have Jakobi Meyers. At 6'2", 200 pounds, Meyer is another solid veteran who brings experience to the Raiders with reliability in the receiving core. Myers played college ball at North Carolina State, and he's been with the New England Patriots before joining us. His career stats are 306 receptions, 3,565 receiving yards, 16 receiving touchdowns, plus 2 touchdowns on the ground, and he threw for 3 touchdowns. This guy is the Swiss Army knife of NFL wide receivers. He can literally do it all. He's a fantastic blocker. He can line up as a running back, and as you can see by his stats, he's not too bad as a quarterback either, which has to have our new offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, salivating on how he's going to design plays just for Jakobi. While the last administration of the Raiders got a lot of things wrong, we have to give them credit for bringing in Jakobi Meyers, as he quickly proved himself to be a serious offensive threat that all defensive coordinators will now have to account for, which will take pressure off of Davante Adams and is another viable weapon for Aiden O'Connell. The only question is, how many touchdowns will Jakobi throw this year? Next up, we have Trey Tucker. He's shown great potential and versatility as a rookie last year. Tucker's ability to make plays in various situations and stretch the field makes him a valuable asset to our offense. Standing at only 5'9" and weighing 185 pounds, he is certainly on the smaller side of the wide receiver. However, Tucker's speed and agility are his standout traits that defensive backs struggled to contain last year. So if they had a hard time containing him as a rookie, how good will he be in year 2? One thing that is really exciting is he has the most chemistry with our young quarterback Aiden O'Connell, as they came into the league as rookies together and spent the most time building that chemistry on and off the field. And it showed last year with the two of them connecting deep down the field on several plays. Offensive coordinator Luke Getsy loves to bait defenses to crowding the line and hitting them over the top down the middle of the field. And now we have a quarterback and receiver tandem who can do exactly that. So look for a lot of explosive plays between O'Connell and Tucker this coming season. Now let's move on to the wide receivers who have a good chance of making the team. These players have shown promise and could secure a spot on the final roster. First up, let's talk about Michael Gallup. Gallup, standing at 6'1", weighing in at 205 pounds, has had a solid career and brings a lot of experience. He played college football at Colorado State, and he was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in the 3rd round in 2018. Now, Gallup's career stats include 266 receptions, 3,744 yards, and 21 touchdowns. Despite some injuries, he's a talented receiver, and he can make big plays. His 40-yard dash time is 4.51 seconds, showcasing decent speed. The problem has always been injuries with him. Early on in his career with the Cowboys, he showed real flashes of stardom. He's very difficult to defend, and he makes highlight reel style catches. The big question with him is, can he stay healthy? If so, he will make a fantastic complement opposite of Davante Adams, and this is exactly what Gallup needs to revamp his career in the NFL. I think the Raiders are a perfect fit for him, and he could very well be the comeback player of the 2024 season if he can put it all together. Next, we have Christian Wilkerson. Wilkerson, standing at 6'1", 214 pounds, has shown flashes of potential and has size and athleticism to be a valuable receiver. He's played college football at Southeast Missouri State, and he joined the NFL as an undrafted free agent. His career stats include 4 receptions for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns. His 40-yard dash time is a 4.5 seconds, indicating that he does have solid speed. Talking to some of the Raiders players recently, I have been told that he has really been showing out in OTAs and minicamp. He has all the physical attributes to be a significant player in the NFL. He's never really got a shot to prove it thus far. If he makes the team again this year, he could get more playing time as a rotational player and a backup in case of injury. Simply based on conversations I've had with players, I have to put him on my list here of guys who have a good chance of making the roster. Then we have Jalen Guyton. Known for his speed and deep threat capability, Guyton can stretch the field and make explosive plays. Standing at 6'1" and weighing in at 212 pounds, he played college football at North Texas and joined the NFL as an undrafted free agent. His career stats include 71 receptions, 1,112 receiving yards, and 7 touchdowns. His 40-yard dash time is an impressive 4.35 seconds, making him the fastest receiver on the team. Yes, even faster than Trey Tucker, and 4 inches taller. His size and speed are a rare combination, but he has struggled at times to be consistent. I believe he will make the team simply because of his athleticism and big play ability. This will help to push Trey Tucker to be even better, as he will have true competition at the speedy receiver position, and competition in football is always a good thing. As far as rookies go, we are looking at Ramel Keaton. This rookie, standing at 6'3" and weighing 197 pounds, played college football at Tennessee. Keaton has shown great promise and could be a surprise addition to the roster. His 40-yard dash time is 4.47 seconds, showcasing great speed for a guy his size. When you look at the kid's film, he has breakaway speed and big play ability. I could see him being a red zone threat standing at 6'3", though his vertical jump is just barely above average for his position at 33.5 inches. Would like to see that above 35. But that can be made up for his elite route running ability, where he excels at the post, the dig, the slant routes, and of course the deep out. The downside with him has been consistency, particularly when it comes to drop balls in the deep game. If he can shore up his hands on those deep routes, he could develop into a star for the Raiders. But of course, with everybody else trying to make the team, his performance is going to depend on training camp and preseason. Now let's talk about the players who have a good chance of making the practice squad. These guys might not make the final roster, but they still have a shot to develop and contribute. Tyreek McAllister is one to watch. Standing at 5'11" and weighing 180 pounds, he played college football at Charleston, West Virginia, and joined the NFL as an undrafted free agent to the Raiders. McAllister has shown versatility and playmaking ability. His 40-yard dash is 4.39 seconds, indicating excellent speed. While he may not make the final roster, he has a good chance of landing on the practice squad and continuing to develop his skills. Unfortunately, not everyone can make the team. Here are the wide receivers who are likely practice squad or cut candidates. Jeff Foreman, standing at 6 feet tall, 186 pounds, played college football at Arkansas State. His 40-yard dash is 4.42 seconds, but despite his potential, it's going to be tough for him to secure a spot with the depth that we have at the wide receiver position. Another one is Ladadrick Griffin, 5'10", 180 pounds, played football at Mississippi State with a 40 of 4.43 seconds. Griffin also has shown speed and agility, but again, the competition is pretty intense. Don't look for him to make that final roster. Maybe he will make the practice squad. Alex Bachman, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, played college at Wake Forest. His 40-yard dash time is almost a 4.5. Bachman has had a challenging journey in the NFL and is most likely going to be cut before the regular season. That's my breakdown of the wide receiver room and who I think will make the final roster. What do you think? Let me know down in those comments below.